No Justice is about to conclude, and can the Justice League, as well as this collection of other heroes and villains, take on the Omega Titans and save the Earth? We're about to find out. I'm Stan, and this is Detail Comics. What's up, everybody? This is Preview Picks, the show where I go over a comic book, its story, its art, give you my impressions, and let you know whether it's something you should go back to the comic book shop for or not. Make sure you subscribe to get more of these every single week. The comic I want to talk about right now is Justice League No Justice number 4, which is the conclusion of a 4-part miniseries which is going to usher in the era of Scott Snyder and the Justice League. They're dealing with the Omega Titans, the seed is on Earth, the trees have risen, they're sprouting out of everywhere, and overall, we're promising an epic conclusion. But can James Tynion, Scott Snyder, and Joshua Williamson, with the help of Francis Manapul, deliver on that promise? Let's find out. Issue number 4 of Justice League No Justice has arrived. The final conflict between the Omega Titans and the Justice League, these various teams of villains and superheroes, happens on Earth. But we start off back at the source wall. There are a few different resources that we need to pull back from this conflict at the edge of the universe to Earth so that way they can help out. And it seems like Hal Jordan, John Stewart, and possibly other Green Lanterns are going to have to make their way back to Earth thanks to the call from Oliver Queen. However, not everybody's happy about this particular call. As these Omega Titans descend into the atmosphere of Earth, we see Amanda Waller berating the Green Arrow, saying, "I had a nuclear weapon ready to go. I could have just bombed the seed when it was still a seed and avoided this entire thing." But while she has a lot of the information, she doesn't necessarily know exactly what happened inside the wreckage of planet Colu. But when we see this, we actually see the floating dead Brainiac ship. We see the various members of these Justice Leagues standing there on the bridge, just wondering exactly what went on and how they can correct that, how they can finish that, how they can make their way back to Earth before it's devoured in the same way that Colu was. Of course, Virildox, the Brainiac 2.0, is one of the only people that can repair the ship, so they turn to him for his expertise. However, what he delivers is a monologue, a diatribe, a real discussion as to why things are this way. The Justice League broke the universe, the Justice League failed to save Colu. This is a world, a universe in chaos, and everybody on this ship deserves exactly what's coming. As he goes over to the power core of the ship, he takes it, utilizes its energy, and transports himself to Earth so that way he can continue his father's work, possibly even accelerate it. In the meantime, we see Supergirl back on Earth, headed to the Fortress of Solitude, trying to search for Green Arrow, which is actually an allusion to the story in Green Arrow Annual number 2. So if you want to kind of fill everything in on why Green Arrow and Batgirl are working together, as insinuated by Kara, that is something that you're going to want to check out. Green Arrow Annual 2. As we head over to Belle Reve, we see Amanda Waller immediately going to the nuclear options, with Green Arrow in tow, trying to talk some sense into her, but that doesn't really matter because, of course, Virildox is there again. He's just transporting like Nightcrawler all over the place, trying to accelerate the death and destruction of the Earth. But it looks like the Green Lantern Corps has made it there in time, with Hal Jordan just smashing him across the face with Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, Guy Gardner, and John Stewart in tow. But Brainiac has a point still. As he converses with Amanda Waller, telling them about this entire situation, he sees that entropy, the chaos that Earth as a species, the chaotic nature of them, has taken hold. The tree is growing to epic proportions. It is clear that this is the dominant trait, and that just gets enhanced even more by Amanda Waller screaming that there is no justice in the world, holding a detonator that would allow her to unleash a nuclear arsenal. However, all hope is not lost, as Batman and the rest of his team jumps through a portal, a boom tube created by Cyborg using the power bursts from the Brainiac ship. At almost the exact same time, he transports everyone else to the trees that they need to defend as they're trying to take off this Brainiac tech and make sure that they can bring stability back to the balance of these various things. Of course, they are missing some key information, and that was the information that Brainiac had on the actual function of these trees and how they were going to operate. Luckily, Amanda Waller had downloaded every file inside Brainiac's system, and that gave them the effective information that they need. The focus is to balance out and siphon as much energy as they can from the trees, and once the entropy tree bears fruit, Cyborg takes the fruit and is going to modify it, enhancing it, imbuing it with all different energies. He's going to force wonder, wisdom, mystery into the entropy seed so that way they can use it as a distraction. Given that this seed needs to be force-fed all the energies from the various cosmic trees, we see Flash grab the seed from Cyborg, take it over to Wonder Woman. She charges it with wonder. Raven grabs it from her, takes it to Martian Manhunter, who charges it with mystery. Superman grabs it and brings it to Deathstroke, who's unable to charge it with entropy, but Luthor has entropy to spare. And the entire idea is hinged on Green Lantern, as Luthor gives this this to Hal Jordan, and Oliver Queen calls him a real shit shot. He forces a construct into the shape of a giant kind of crossbow that they fire into the armor of the Entropy Titan. And that's where we kind of shift from live conversation to more of a recap of the situation as it happened. As the scene unfolds, we see the teleportation of Virildox. Brainiac 2.0 is no longer on planet Earth, and he's out there plotting the demise of the Justice League, these various Justice League members. The Entropy Titan, the armor pierced by this Green Lantern arrow, and the feeding of this seed has turned the natural energy of the Entropy Titan on itself. And the brothers of it, the Wisdom Titan, the Mystery Titan, the Wonder Titan, they feed on the energy of their own brother, causing chaos, bringing a collapse to the old order of things. These Omega Titans that were meant to guide the universe towards its natural death no longer function in the same way. The universe has changed, and it's going to require different solutions. We see the Source Wall still being patched up by the Green Lantern Corps, but that is a serious conflict that needs to be corrected. Batman calling Black Lightning into the Batcave, basically calling together the Outsiders again. John Johns gives Green Arrow a key to the Hall of Justice, this new creation that is going to unify all these various teams, and gives him the power, the ability to dismantle and destroy the Justice League once and for all, if necessary, which Ollie doesn't necessarily respond to the weight of that situation that well. And as we finish up this book, we see the Brainiac ship being repaired with Cyborg getting ready to head out into various different ventures. You've got Zatanna and Wonder Woman calling upon the Tree of Wonder and getting ready to investigate these various things on their own. And then the Justice League inside the Hall of Justice electing Martian Manhunter back to the chairman, the connection, the tether between all the different members of the team. And that brings the dawn of a new era, an era of new justice, as we open up with Justice League Odyssey, Justice League Dark, and the standard Justice League as well. And that's where we're going to end the entire miniseries of Justice League No Justice, which is going to transition from what was DC's Dark Knight's Metal and the previous Rebirth titles into this new Bendis Snyderverse that we're going to have. And it's really going to envelop all the different Justice League titles that are going to be coming out. If you take a look at the entirety of the series, it's just an absolute amount of chaos. It's hard to determine exactly what happened when it comes to these individual pieces and what really these events that are put in motion and how they're going to impact the universe. And I think that's half the fun. I think that's the point of the actual series itself. It's not necessarily to resolve the conflicts. It wasn't to fix the Source Wall. It was to insinuate that the fracture of the Source Wall is one of the greatest threats to the DC universe. It was to give reason and validation to the new books, Justice League Odyssey and Justice League Dark, where we can investigate the changes in magic throughout the DC universe, where we investigate space on a completely different level and how it's impacted by the Source Wall, where we force this brand new Justice League together to reintroduce new characters to these teams and then to create brand new threats. Brainiac 2.0 is out there. The idea of something beyond the Source Wall coming in and creating conflict, that is something that is fresh and new and exciting. So it's a very big step forward for the DCU, and one that I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm really glad that Francis Manapul was back for the 4th issue, just because it gave a lot of consistency to the series itself, and that's one of the things that I always really enjoy. But I want to know what you guys think about No Justice and how everything really worked out, so hit me up in the comments down below and we can have that conversation. As always, if you like what you see, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to get more news, reviews, and commentary on comic books, comic book movies, comic book TV shows and games, and anything and everything inside the world of comics.